Tell us what is the task that you hate doing, and we'll show you how to automate it for free. Just go to the link that I provide in the description and enter your email and describe the task that you want to automate. After that, we'll send you an email, probably with more questions. And you have to reply to that email because we saw that we often land in the spam if we try including links to videos and documents before we had any email correspondence with someone. So please reply to that email and then we'll be able to help you solve the problem. You can also book a call and discuss it live. I'll now show you some things that you can automate. So we have a document here that has a lot of examples and it discusses the potential time impact. It has 10 pages, so we won't go over everything. I'll show you the main category and discuss some of the examples. So that will give you some ideas of how to think about this and what you can try to do to boost the performance in your business. So first, let's go over the examples for client acquisition and sales. The first one is AI-powered lead research. So each time a new lead is added to your CRM, is it via paid ads, is it done through call outbound or whatever, the trigger point is new lead is added to the CRM. The automation will automatically find the company website, LinkedIn profile of that person, and a LinkedIn profile of the company. That will be used to determine the role of the person, what the company does. So a short summary, a couple of sentences, and potential pain points based on what you do and how you provide, what value do you provide to your clients, and also some other data that can be useful, like a company size, location, and so on. Anything that will be useful for you to qualify the lead. This is done automatically, and if someone to do it manually, it will take at least 5 minutes, probably 5 to 10 minutes, because you have to go to the website, read the website, then create a summary, find the LinkedIn profile, and so on. So you're saving 5 to 10 minutes per lead, and for 100 leads, that's 8 to 15 hours. Maybe even more important is that you can tie different workflows into this. So the data that you had can be then added to a lead scoring agent that will determine the quality of the lead. It can give it a numeric number. So 1 being the least qualified, 5 being the most qualified lead. And that can be based on different rules that you want to apply. So maybe, for instance, you are looking for companies of a certain size in a certain industry, and you're only looking for senior people. And that would be the highest lead score that you can give. Once you have those lead scores, you can then prioritize those leads and give the best leads to your best sales reps and ensure that you follow up with them as soon as possible. Ideally, within the first 5 minutes, that will most likely bring you to book a call and then get the sales process going. You can also automate campaigns like cold email and LinkedIn outreach. Another interesting thing you can do, especially if you're running paid ads or you have a lot of form submits on your website, you can have a voice agent call all of those leads and then ask extra qualification questions, get more context, maybe explain the offer and so on. All of that data can then be stored into the CRM and then help you prioritize the leads and also see who is qualified and who not. The voice agent can also push leads to book a call if they didn't do that. Smart follow-ups based on the data that you have in your CRM, like notes and previous conversations, maybe on LinkedIn or email. AI can use that and create personalized follow-ups that are relevant to the context that is present. This will take save like 80% of time if you want to review it, 100% if you want to send it automatically. You can start using it with like human edition. That will save you around 80% of the time. And we have a case study video about that. So from 5 to 10 minutes to a minute or two for follow-up. The biggest upside here is no leads are forgotten and the responses are done always with all of the leads. Let's AI sales calls analysis. So you can record all the sales calls, create transcripts of those sales calls, and then use LLM to determine are the sales reps following the script, what were the objections, how were the objections handled. Once you find objections, you can then use that in your content, in your sales assets, in your training, and so on. CRM re-engagement and nurture, similar to AI follow-ups, you can use that system to re-engage with your whole pipeline and then save you time in doing that. We also have a case study on this. We'll now go to the second category, marketing and content. I'll cover just a couple of these. First one is the AI ad agent, creative agent. So what do you do here? You can provide the SOPs, guidelines, and some brand content to get a sense of the brand and previous good examples of ads. And then the AI agent create combinations of hooks, bodies, and call to actions, so scripts, and then your copywriter can review that. This will result into 70 to 80% of time saved. And by doing this, you can output a lot of more creatives and keep your testing, like test 5 to 6 times more creatives. And that will ensure that your cost per acquisition goes down. We can also monitor competitors, get insights from there. Another interesting thing for ads is AI UGC ads. If you're running UGC ads, or if you're not and you want to try out, you can use AI avatars and test it out like that without having to hire contractors and manage them and so on. This will also be a lot more faster because you don't have to manage anyone. You just input everything into the software and it will create the UGC ads, and also it will be cheaper. This way you can test 5 to 10 more UGC ads, and once you find the winning combinations of personas and scripts, you can find the real people and then test against the AI ones and see which one must perform better. This technology also gets better like every couple of months, so it will be delivering better and better results, and the cost will go down. These for content, the content repurposing agents are really powerful and can save you a lot of time and also give you more reach without doing more content creation. So you can use videos, interviews, podcasts, documents, case studies, pretty much anything to feed into the AI, and the AI can then create blog posts, even ad scripts if you want based on the things you provided. But let's stick to content repurposing, email flows, short form tweets, long form tweets, and so on. So you could have a single or a main platform for content, for instance, YouTube, and then feed each of the videos that you've created into that machine that will produce the content for all other platforms. And you can then use automated social media scheduling to schedule out those posts so you don't have to do those things manually. And you will save a lot of time here, but the biggest impact is that with much no additional effort, you can cover all the platforms. CRM and data management, that ties into the first section also, but keeping the data clean. So ensuring you don't have duplicate contacts, that the emails are valid, that the people are still working in that company, enriching the data, and so on. You can have this automated entirely and then maybe just flag some anomalies. So if you think that someone is not at the company, so maybe someone can manually review it. So you will have 95% time decrease, maybe even 100. Usually no one does this. So the data gets stalled. That's the issue. And especially if you're a company that has been in business a long time, you need to keep cleaning your data. And if you're setting up a new CRM, that's a perfect time to perform this action and ensure that you have good quality data, because then you can use the data in outreach campaigns also. Automating, adding everything to the CRM. So each lead from every campaign and every channel needs to be added to the CRM so you don't lose track of them. And you can then also track from which channel are you getting the most leads, and then you can compute your ROIs and then allocate the budget accordingly. Uh, Automated sales reports. Yeah, we covered these. Yeah, let's talk about this. So you can pull the reports based, if you store everything in your CRM as you should, you can then have a good overview of the main metrics. So how many new leads have you got? How many calls have you booked? What's your close rate? How are your sales reps performing? And so on. This can be then analyzed daily, so either be a PDF or having a dashboard interactive that you can take a look. So if you have a big sales team, this can be useful to spot problems or improvements quickly and then make decisions based on that. In the section of admin tasks, you can automate client onboarding. So as soon as someone signs the deal, you can immediately send them the welcome email, add them to Slack, create Google Drives, assign a project manager or a customer success manager, however you call it. Then send them info and materials they need to overview and send them a request to book an onboarding call. Probably a bigger time saver that you can implement is client reporting automation. So you could have daily or weekly scripts that pull all the performance data and what has been done and then sends that to the client. So if you're running a lead generation agency, you can pull what's the number of leads that you got, what's the number of calls that were booked, and also from your project management dashboard, you can pull what was done, like how many new scripts were tested, what the team was changing in the campaigns, how many new campaigns have been created, and so on. If you're just sending, we did this for a cold email agency. You're monitoring number of emails sent, number of responses, number of positive responses, and number of meetings booked. And there was also a weekly summary of how many new angles have been tested, how many new leads have been added, and like what was changed or tried. This can be sent out automatically, especially if you're doing only like metrics and sending those out. And if you want to AI to pull tasks from Trello or whatever project management tool you're using, then that can be further summarized by AI and created like bullet points. But this can be then sent weekly. It saves a lot of time, so you don't have to spend like half an hour or an hour looking through the data, compiling everything, especially if you want to write up the exact tasks that were performed. But even the bigger upside here is you are proactive with your client and they can have a good overview of what you're doing on a week to week or even day to day basis. For operations and performance tracking, I'll just cover one example. That's AI driven internal knowledge base. So you can create a knowledge base of SOPs and procedures that you have in your company, and then create a chatbot that will let new employees ask questions and see what is present in the knowledge base. So if they are not sure what they need to do in a certain situation or what's the procedure, the AI agent can point them in the right way. So if you have a large number of new trainees, this can be a huge time saved. And you can automate KPI trackings and so on. So as you can see, the possibilities here are pretty endless, and it depends on your exact structure and process. But if you have any questions about any of these, or you have some of your own ideas, feel free to send them, as I mentioned, on this link, and then we'll follow up with questions and plan how you can do this. Thank you.